and welcome back to the 30th anniversary of the Arnold Classic and the Arnold Sports Festival, and the latest edition of the Arnold Sports Festival Power Podcast. As always, I'm joined today by my co-host, Dr. Bill Kramer, Professor of Kinesiology and Sports Science at The Ohio State University, and today's special guest is Tori Boggs, a recent graduate of Ohio State and a world jump rope champion, probably multiple world jump rope champion, to be honest. So obviously with the Arnold Sports Festival, it's much more than just bodybuilding. It's much more than just strength sports. Over the last 30 years, we've grown into the largest multi-sport festival in the world. One of the sports that we added about 8 years ago, as the first as a demonstration sport, and then later as a competitive sport, is jump roping. And it has really taken off, really popular, amazing athletes. And one of those we've gotten over the years is Tori. So Tori, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me, how does one become a world jump rope champion and a professional jump roper?
Years and years of practice and hard work.
Okay.
A lot of the skills we're actually creating on our own as well, so we're taking inspiration from other activities. There's so much, room in the sport of jump rope to create new things, but also push yourself as an athlete.
So we all jump rope as kids.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the line, you took it to the next level. How did that happen?
It was pretty much just like, I absolutely love to do this, and I don't want to stop jumping every day.
So what are you guys doing this weekend? You guys have an American Jump Rope Federation sponsored competition?
Yeah. So the American Jump Rope Federation is sponsoring the Arnold Speed and Power Jump Rope Championships. So this is actually the first year that the American Jump Rope Federation has taken that over. Okay. So with the help of the World Jump Rope Federation, we're making that happen. And it's been an amazing event. Yesterday we had demonstrations and performances in our area. Today we've just been running a competition all day with some incredible athletes from around the world are here.
So when you say speed and power, is that two different competitions? Is that combined into one, or what is the speed and power jump rope competition?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have different events in our sport. It's kind of like swimming in that way. So for the speed competition, jumpers jump as fast as they can in an alternating jog step pattern. Yep. So only the right foot is counted, and then at the end the score is doubled, only because jumpers go so fast the judges can't count both the feet. And then for the power aspect, jumpers are competing in double unders mainly in our competition. So that's as many doubles as you can in a row in a certain amount of time.
So we're going to see a little demo of all this stuff in a little bit here, but so from a training standpoint, I mean, what do you do? What did you do, and what do you continue to do to reach the elite level in your sport?
Yeah, absolutely. So not only is it a lot of just practicing straight up jump rope, but I have cross-trained all my life. I was a runner in high school. I played soccer growing up. I do CrossFit now and a lot of physical activity. We're constantly needing to stay in good shape, making sure we're doing a lot of physical therapy to keep our body, it's a lot of wear and tear, especially when we pick up a rope and want to show it to our classmates in the middle of the street,
Dr. Kramer, you've studied a lot of sports. Have you seen studies on jump rope, and what can we learn from those?
Well, typically the studies that's been done on jump rope has been mostly with youth fitness, because a lot of the younger kids today, it's a good way to have fun while you're getting fit cardiovascularly. But I think when you take it up to the next level, from what I know about jump rope competitions, there's so many more movements than just stepping off the ground. And when you're doing more than that, I'd love to take you in the laboratory, put you on force plates. In fact, what they should do in future competitions is have force plates on it, because we could directly, computer-wise, know how many steps and everything else. But I think the bottom line is that it's much more of a kind of a gymnastics kind of combination along with the cardiovascular interface. And then you got to worry about risks. You got to worry about all the things that come from overuse. Again, that's where our study of gymnastics, how many times you hit the ground, it bears down on your connective tissue. So you got to be doing some strength training so your connective tissue stays viable and you don't overdo and have issues with that. So it's really a combination of a new sport, but have we studied it the way it is now? No. How can we project? A little bit, but this just shows you how the Arnold Classic Festival just exploded with sports that we know a little bit about, not much. So it goes from there.
So how many competitors this weekend, and where are they coming from?
We have over 100 competitors. We have some from Germany, from Canada. We have them from all over the United States. Here today you'll see some demonstrations from the guys who have come from Idaho to help run the event, and they're also competing. So one thing that's really unique about this tournament specifically is that we have a bracket challenge. That's a head-to-head tournament in jump rope. It doesn't exist anywhere else in the world.
So you got two guys going at it head-to-head, and the winner advances, like, a little March Madness style.
And that's just not normal jump rope competition, so we love trying new things here at the Arnold. And the other thing that's really unique is that the jumpers are actually running the event. So they compete the night before, we compete Friday night, and then Saturday we're running the competition. Saturday afternoon, we are jumping in the bracket challenge. So we're running an event all day, helping grow the sport with the younger generation, and then we get to compete in the afternoon.
Wow.
It's a great time.
Fatigue.
Yeah, exhausting, but one of I think it's our favorite weekend of the jump rope
And
year.
obviously, from my experience, the sport's come a long way in the last 6 to 8, 10 years since you guys have been involved here. What do you guys do on a national, international basis with the sport to promote the sport? Competitions all over the place?
Yeah, we hold competitions all over the world, including at the international Arnold competitions.
Yep.
We have them in South Africa, Brazil. We do the Arnold Europe every year, and it's been an awesome time for jump rope growth.
Yeah, jump rope is one of it's interesting you say that, because jump rope is one of the few competitions that started here and has now been at all of our other events around the world. So it's really something we've taken on the road internationally, and wherever we go, it's really popular. So
yeah, absolutely.
Now, when you talk about speed, we're talking about really, really, really fast. Give me some numbers that our listeners and viewers can try to comprehend.
It's about 6 jumps a second.
Six jumps a second. Dr. Kramer, how's that?
Well, that's great motor control. To do that type of speed takes a lot of coordination and a lot of motor control.
And you're
to
touching the
actually
ground
produce
between every
jump?
jump?
Yeah, you're alternating feet like this.
Yeah,
alternating feet.
I used to watch, in the old days, boxers used to jump rope a lot, and some were pretty good with twists and turns. This takes it to another level when you start looking at that type of performance, and that's not something you pick up once in a while. You got to train for that.
Right.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So how old were you when you first started competing?
I was 5 when I first started, so I've been doing this for 20 years. I'm like a veteran in the sport now.
And when did you turn pro?
That's a little bit tricky of a question. I started traveling internationally for the sport when I was about 12.
Okay.
I started competing in international competitions, and then I started doing performances internationally at 14.
Okay.
And then after I graduated from Ohio State last year, I have a degree in industrial design and pre-medicine.
Okay.
I decided I'm going to be a professional jump roper for a while. So now I'm touring with groups like Cirque du Soleil. I work in Germany starting next week.
And you did some SeaWorld stuff?
Yeah, we just got back from some Disney and SeaWorld contracts that we're really excited about.
Well, that is really fun. That's a great way to promote the sport.
Absolutely.
So what's the big challenge, though? I'm always curious, being sports medicine, too, what are the challenges for any injuries? Because you got a lot of things going on. How have you managed your bumps and bruises along the way?
Yeah, absolutely. I would do a few things differently if I can go back in time. We want to show our sport wherever we go. So we take a rope with us, we'll jump on concrete, we'll do whatever needs to be done to show someone jump rope. And that's not always the best idea. We need to warm up, we need to stretch, and we don't always take time to do that. But we definitely have wear and tear. Achilles tendon tears are starting to be prominent. We have ganglion cysts from trauma on the floor and impact there. Some people have some knee issues going on. So there's definitely those things that we have to watch out for, but it's honestly because we love jump rope so much we don't want to stop jumping.
Well, I think a little resistance training there can help work with that, and also strengthens the tendons, because a lot of times that's what you need as you take on repetitive impact sports. Really, like runners never lifted weights, now they all lift because you need it for repetitive lift pounding.
So what do you guys use? Is it always ropes? Use wires? What type of equipment are you doing to go that fast when you're talking about the speed stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So for speed and power competitions, we use a wire rope. It's actually like a type of bike wire.
Okay.
And it's just so aerodynamic. You can actually hear it cutting through the air. Yeah. And then for freestyle, where we're doing different types of tricks, we're using more of like a plastic licorice or even a beaded rope for those type of things.
Great.
Looks nice. As it goes through the air, you can hear it, you get that auditory feedback when it hits the ground. It's just a really different type of feel between the speed rope and the licorice rope.
And being here at the Arnold Sports Festival has been great for jump rope. You come in here, you really market your sport, really expose it to a lot of folks who've not seen it before. When kids walk by, they stop by, they check it out. If they want to get involved, how they do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So to get involved, you can go online to amjrf.com or worldjumprope.org.
Got it.
And you can check out where jump rope exists. You can search, honestly, jump rope on YouTube, on Google, on Facebook, and you can find so many different things. There is jump rope everywhere. You just got to do a basic internet search and you'll find us.
And then when you were at Ohio State, did you create the jump rope club, or was there already one, or what did you guys do?
Yeah, so when I came to Ohio State, I created the Ohio State Jump Rope Club in 2013. And since our creation, actually we have competitors here at the Arnold this weekend, and we've been competing here since the first year of competition. So for 6 years we've had Ohio State competitors here. And now we have 13 universities that have taken our model at Ohio State and created university teams, which is one of the most inspiring things that we can
That's fantastic.
possibly
I got a
imagine.
question now. Is there such a thing, and maybe it's a myth, I thought there was, of a single hand jump rope where you use just one hand to make the thing go. And I always wondered how you did that with two connectors in the same hand. You do that?
Do you mean like almost one bar
Yeah,
here?
where it's just one on. Well, also a jump rope where you're twirling the rope in one hand.
With one hand?
Right.
Yeah,
going
that's definitely a thing. So there's actually a product out there that's like a bar that goes this way. So, some amputees and actually everyone can jump rope no matter what. So that's making that possible. But we also do jump rope tricks where we release handles. So it's really one hand kind of going on the rope.
I always found that amazing.
Rope flying through the air. It's pretty fun.
So you brought some friends today.
I have my friends here. These guys are multiple-time world champions also. They're from Idaho, a team called Proform. They're AMJRF ambassadors here this weekend. They love to do flips. So you're going to see a lot of, like they're over here flipping, back tucking, doing some crazy stuff, just in their free time. They're amazing.
All right, if Travis can help us out here, for the first time in Arnold Power Podcast history, we're going to have a live demo right during our show.
Right.
So
Go for it.
See if we can turn the camera here a little bit and check some of this stuff out.
Yeah.
You bet.
All right, so jumping into the ropes right now, we have Porter, and he is just a big-time flipper, as you can see. These are all power skills in jump rope, power and gymnastic skills, yeah.
Now, what kind of background?
Gainer right there.
Do jump ropers kind of come from? Is it a lot of gymnastics background or just general fitness? I mean, where are these kids coming from?
There's a big mix of interest. So I did gymnastics for a little bit of my life, which has really carried over so well into the sport. Yep. But some kids don't even start doing gymnastics until they're actually in the sport of jump rope. And I gotta say, the rug does give us a little trouble. The ropes start to bounce so much, so some of those low tricks get really tricky. So I think they're just gonna move to single rope because that's a little bit easier to control.
And talk a little bit while we're watching these guys. Look at this, wow.
Yeah, so right there he's doing multiples. The rope is actually going around his body 4 times. This is Dalton, and he's really, really good at these skills. You can kind of see the rope bouncing a bit on the floor. He's got great splits.
What kind of training do you guys do once you get to this level, how do you maintain it? How do you get better? What type of training are you guys doing?
A lot of it is coming up with new skills. So being really creative is how you're going to kind of introduce yourself into the sport, bring something different to that. And these boys are definitely really creative in our sport.
Is there judging, or how do you compete?
Yeah, so here at the Arnold, the right foot is counted for speed, and that's because jumpers go so fast. And then in double unders, just the total amount of double unders. For events like this, where it's freestyle, where they're doing different skills, it's based on presentation. So are they looking up? Are they making these skills look good? But it's also based on difficulty. How difficult is it what they're doing, and do they have mistakes or not?
Yeah.
So
then they get a score.
They
get a score.
Yeah,
okay.
then you get a score.
If you're counting for speed, how do you count that fast?
Right.
Is there machines? I mean,
that's a really good segue into this new product that we're kind of working on a little bit.
Tell us about it.
So right now there are clickers, and that's kind of, it's a manual, And we have this amazing system that's been at the Arnold for 6 years with us called Skip Track, and so the judges use an app on the phone. They count. It's displayed on the screen, and it's been amazing for audiences. They can track us as we're on the floor. It's really, really exciting. We have this new app that's out, and it's called Tally Jump. And
Tally Jump.
What you do is you have this sensor that you put under your right shoelaces.
Okay.
You connect it to your phone. And it's counting your, so you can actually train on, you can set your phone up, you can count yourself as you're training, and it's a really, really good tool for that.
So who came up with the Tally Jumper?
So it's been a project
of mine. Is this a
mine,
Tori Boggs product? Nice.
There's a group of us that have been working on this. But what's really unique is that it only exists in prototype form. So in order for this to actually be a manufactured product, we're launching a Kickstarter for the month of April.
Okay, tell us about it a little bit.
So how a Kickstarter works is we have 30 days to raise $100,000 that would manufacture this product.
Okay.
Wow. People pre-order it online. That's how the money gets raised. So at the end of the time, if the money is not raised, it doesn't get produced. No one loses money. If the money is raised, it goes into manufacturing and people receive tally jumps.
And how long have you been working on this?
This has been over a year in the process. I actually just got back from France a couple weeks ago where we were having a meeting with manufacturing, with the engineers over there. We're making it happen. So it's been a joint USA-France concept.
So we expect you on Shark Tank soon then.
It's a possibility. It could work.
So Dr. Kramer, that brings up an interesting point. In talking about sports science, obviously a lot of what you study is happening in the gym, with the workouts, with resistance training, whatever the case may be. Where does training meet technology these days?
Well, I think technology has become a part of training. Our lab is right now looking at a whole variety of wearables right now, from looking at everything from heart rate variability to sweat sensors that will assess, adrenaline levels, to just the host of things. And we also look at brain function and the whole 9 yards. So technology, we're really, what I like to say in the lab, we're Iron Man, Iron Woman in the lab. We're creating that person who's being completely instrumented with everything, and now we're trying to understand how the body works in integrated form. So all these things, and then there's field stuff, as you see with this. This is a field application, and it's becoming more and more popular to assess what you're doing for training and also for testing. In some ways it could be for the competitions as well. I think there's now flooring that can measure everything and every movement as well. So I think, with jump rope competition in its future, what you may do is you'll have these computerized floors that are out there right now that could assess everything, and along with the video systems that can do everything in high speed, slow-mo, and the whole 9 yards. But I think technology is there. It's just wise use of technology. And the last thing I'll say, we're doing a lot of validation of technology. So you can have technology because engineers can make anything, but whether it's valid or not has to be done, and that's the validity studies that are very important too.
Well, Tori, before we wrap up, just tell us a little about American Jump Rope, World Jump Rope in 2018. Where are you guys going to be at? Where can we see you guys competing, and what's a little bit on the future of the sport?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sure you'll see us at more Arnold's, hopefully Arnold's Abroad, which is something that we absolutely love to do and look forward to. We also have our World Jump Rope Championships this coming July in Orlando, Florida. So we're really excited about that. There's been this amazing movement in the sport where our federations have merged and we've grown into the International Jump Rope Union, and so that first event will take place in 2020. We're actually going to represent jump rope at the Sport Accord Conference in Thailand in April.
Wow.
So, honestly, this Arnold venue has really helped us grow, and we cannot thank you guys enough for that.
So do you feel like a pioneer in the sport? I mean,
absolutely. We're leading the way. It's absolutely been a blast.
It's been fun for us to watch, because I know that, I think World Jump Rope was just created maybe like 5 years ago or so.
Yeah, it's a pretty new organization, and the goal is to get the sport into the Olympics, and we've been pushing every single year. Every day we do something to move jump rope forward, which is really, really exciting. I absolutely love my sport. I love what I do. Well,
we can't thank you enough for the support of what we do, helping with your mom bring the sport into our weekend.
Yeah.
It's been a huge addition to the Arnold Sports Festival, and we're so much more than bodybuilding, so much more than just strength sports. And what you guys have done is introduce a new sport that allows more athletes to compete.
Absolutely. I've got to put a plug in for my mom real quick, because I haven't mentioned her. Tori Boggs she's the one who's been organizing jump rope at the Arnold for the past 6 to 8 years.
She is the first lady of jump rope, yeah.
She is. She's the general secretary now of the World Jump Rope Federation, and every day she is working on jump rope stuff to push our sport forward, and she is just a very dedicated and selfless woman for that.
And this just came out of your mom's passion for the sport.
Yeah.
You guys grew up in West Virginia, right?
Yeah.
Well, look at where you're at now. So.
Right, absolutely.
Well, Tori, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you guys.
On behalf of Bill Kramer, World Jump Rope Champion, Tori Boggs, thank you very much again for joining us on this edition of the ASF Power Podcast. As always, check us out online, arnoldsportsfestival.com, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Arnold Sports Festival. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again soon.